I'd like to say thank you, deep, heartfelt gratitude to Tammy, to Miles, to Hillary, to Bill, to Rashad, to Ruth Wooden for being here. And it's really, really wonderful that you all stood up here and spoke about this organization and about me. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I also want to thank Alyssa, Rachel, and the entire communications development and administration teams who put this amazing and gorgeous event together. Thank you very much. You know I love a party. To my parents, to Qasim, to my brother, to my cousins, to my friends, some of whom have known me for 20 years who are here tonight. I just want to really just take a moment and talk about why I'm so thrilled to be leading this organization at this time. You all know something I did not know when I was 22 years old and I first started working at Demos, which is that Demos means the people. And it really is about the people. We have this extraordinary executive team, 5 vice presidents, 5 women and 1 man. Great joke. Each of whom could be running an organization. An extraordinary group of researchers, communicators, and advocates, and litigators, and organizational staff who are absolutely, without a doubt, the leaders of tomorrow. And they give me great faith in a dynamic future for the future of social change in this country. The little p people, the people that I come to work with every day, are absolutely why I've loved working there for over a decade. But why I've committed to leading the organization now is really about the demos, the ancient Greek word, the people, the capital P people, the people of a nation. And it's because demos advances not just policy for the people, but at its best, we advance the idea of the people, of one nation united by a shared fate. And I happen to believe that forging a true demos is the great unfinished business of this country. Our nation is this great, absurd experiment in democracy. To take a room that looks like this, we are a land where the ancestral lines of every single one of the world's communities have met and been offered the audacious promise that out of many, we could become one people. Now, that promise has been elusive. And in fact, so often we forget that that is the promise. But I believe that our generation, the country's largest, most diverse, most progressive, most communitarian generation in our history, is actually going to be the one to live to see that promise fulfilled. But only if democracy is allowed to exist. And democracy is actually not what we have. We have inequality, political inequality, economic inequality, and racial inequality that has threatened the very future that I think that we can all see, and has made our generation the first one to not be better off financially than our parents. But that's where Demos comes in. At Demos, we move ideas that are powerful enough to change the lives of millions of people through the full cycle of change. That means we champion over-the-horizon policy solutions. We shift the narrative to clear the way for their acceptance, and then we advocate until they take effect. Whether it's the landmark credit card reforms that we crafted and pushed for over nearly a decade, from being laughed out of the halls of Congress, were we not, Tammy? To sitting pretty in the Rose Garden when the president signed each and every one of our recommendations. Hillary has saved working families over $100 billion. We've got some borrowers in the room. Or the work that we do to make registration and voting a one-stop process, to cut out the needless red tape that impinges on the freedom to vote that is the bedrock of our society. 8 states, plus Washington, D.C., that's over a quarter of the voting age population, can enjoy the right to register and vote on Election Day because of Demos's work. Miles just stole my thunder on the 4 million Californians, working class, people of color, young people who have been affirmatively asked by their government to participate and register to vote, which is the way that it should be because of the litigation efforts under the Affordable Care Act and the National Voter Registration Act. Just so that's where we've been, and where are we going? With your help, we're going to end this radical experiment of a debt for diploma system that has indentured an entire generation. I'll make a promise. We are going to return this nation to a system of debt-free college for all. We are also going to replace our large donor-dominated politics with a small donor system that makes someone who can just write a $25 check as important to their elected officials as the $10,000 donors. I am an extremely optimistic person. But I know that we can do this because we win. I'm really spoiled. I've worked at Demos for virtually my entire career. I'm just used to winning. But I'll have to say that when Miles first approached me about succeeding him as president, it took me a moment. I really did. I thought, me? Now? It's not time. But when I looked at the forces in our politics that are seeing the same future that we see and are holding on just white-knuckled to a tiny idea of we the people and are denying the beauty of what we could become, I thought, it is time. When I see that a market-based economy has become a market-based society, so much so that a cashier earning $7.25 an hour doesn't just get to buy $7.25 an hour worth of stuff, but she gets $7.25 worth of education for her children, $7.25 worth of respect in our culture, and $7.25 worth of voice in our democracy, I think it is time. And when I look around me at a field, an emerging field of advocates who, yes, want to serve their issue and their group, but who are finally ready for those issues and groups to serve something much more, because they know that what's gotten us here is not going to take us there, I think it is time. For me, I decided it is time for Demos. It is time for this group of creative, restless, hungry, fearless people who come to work together every day, who are fearless with the opposition, but humble with our allies, and who had the foresight to know nearly 15 years ago that the fight of our lives would be about inequality in our democracy and in our economy. But this time is different, and I will say that if the past 6 years have taught us anything, it's that we are well past the time when it's really about one leader or one organization. It is time for all of us. It is time for every person to commit to the idea that yes, each person has dignity, and what's more, together, the people have majesty. I truly believe that. And that is why I said yes. That is why I said yes to taking leadership of this incredible organization at this time. And this is why I'm asking you Yes, to party with me right now. I swear the asks are gonna get a little higher. But to believe in the future that we see. To believe in a future where out of many really can become one. Where the great experiment that is a multiracial, multi-ethnic, multi-origin democracy at a time of enormous challenges for our entire planet can be the ones to harness the energy of each of us as individuals and all of us as one people. Thank you.